Just as hardly anyone becomes travelers overnight, the same goes for funding your new life as a traveler. A bag of money isn't going to drop into your lap. You have to work for it, and most likely sacrifice something too.
Hi, and welcome to lesson number 5.
Hi! This is the lesson that you have all been waiting for. Or at least this is the question that we get all the time.
Yeah.
How do we pay for that? Or, that's easy for you to say, I don't have money for this, or I wish I had money for this, or someday when I win the lottery, I'll have money for this. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can get the money even though you don't win the lottery.
I'm tired already. This is about economy. But I hope you're awake. You'll learn something.
Getting money to travel is all about sacrifices. This sounds hard, but you gain something really great in the end. You actually get to live out your dream. But it comes with sacrifices. We can't be other than honest and say it comes with sacrifices. They might be huge, or they might be smaller. They might cost energy. They might cost something you really like. But there will be sacrifices for a greater good. So today you have to make sacrifices, or at least you have to begin to make sacrifices.
And when we talk about sacrifices, it can be work sacrifice or even the things you have in your home that you love the most.
One of the first things you must be aware that you have to sacrifice is time. Because you're gonna spend time on other things than watching TV or hanging out with friends all the time or playing PlayStation. You actually have to work for this money, and you have to spend time on selling stuff and working more. You have to sacrifice almost all the time you use now to spend money, because you're not going to spend all that money anymore. For now, that is. Later you can spend money again, but right now you have to get some money to travel for.
It's always possible to make more money.
Yeah, and I know some people say, no, that's not true, but it is.
May not be a funny way or the most amusing way to earn it, but there's always a way to earn more money. You may have taken some vacations where you did it because that's what you could afford, but now you're going the other way around. You're saying, I'm gonna travel like this, so how much money do I need? That's the difference between a normal vacation, because often you take the one you can afford. Now you're gonna say, how much money do I need to get this realized?
And that was exactly why the first 4 lessons was so important before we came to talk about economy. Because you have to have your mindset on exactly what are my needs. And this is what you're finding out today. How much money do I need? What do I have to give up? What do I have to sacrifice? More or less? Or this is today we're talking about that. A lot of people think it's super hard to earn more money, but we'll give you some pointers to how you can do it. And maybe things you hadn't thought about before. A thing you can do is to skip all your everyday luxury. And that might be your Netflix subscription, or your HBO subscription, or your magazine subscription, or all these subscriptions that you might have that you don't really need. And I know some of you say, well, I don't have any. And then again, are you sure you don't have any? Because I was surprised how much I was actually subscribing to that I could skip.
Or just use less of. If you have the big TV package, or you got the large package for your telephone, so you have enough internet and all these things, they can be turned, how you say, you turn them down, or you get a new offer from the television or the phone company. So if you subscribe less, or even just cheaper, if you cannot live without it, because when you are going traveling, you don't need the big package. You don't need the television subscription at all. So why not turn it down? The whole subscription part.
Get used to it.
But everyday things like an extra cup of coffee at the Starbucks or wherever you get your coffee.
Takeout in general. You're done with takeout now.
Yeah.
Because you have to have some money to travel. If you're used to take out food 2 times a week or 2 times a month, then maybe cut it on so you only do it 1 time a week or 1 time a month or maybe 2 times a month.
Or maybe you could even just skip it all.
Yeah, skip it all and cook your own dinner.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need this money. At this time, you know where you're going, and you know how long time you're going, and you can start to make a budget. Yeah, it might sound boring, but we'll help you a little. I'll put a link, because Malte is not gonna do it because he thinks it's dreadfully boring about economy.
I think it's so boring.
So I'll make a sheet where you can start your budget. And besides that, there are a lot of pages on the internet that actually tells you the living costs in different countries all over the world, approximately, of course. But what does it cost to live, and what does it cost to eat, and what does it cost to eat out, and all sorts of things. And we'll also link to those. So it's time for you to start your budget from what you've learned for the past 4 days. Oh, and something you have to remember. There are no more holidays for you until you start traveling for real. No going to Bali or to the beach in some foreign country. Nope. That's all done for now, for you to live out your dream. Some sacrifices are huge. Like when we sold our house. I know that we say that we were done with the house, but it was still a big sacrifice, because after all, we didn't have anything to come back to if all this traveling failed. We would be on the street. So for us that was a sacrifice, but it was necessary for us to do it.
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't get this type of traveling that we wanted.
Exactly.
The type of traveling we wanted needed a lot of start capital, and the only way we could get that capital without loaning the money was selling such a big thing as the house. And it's a big sacrifice. It was 20 years of work.
And selling the house wasn't just easy, because there were a lot of things that needed to be fixed before we could sell it. Things that we thought, we have time enough, but it was now we had to do it. So actually we broke down a wall. In a weekend we broke down a wall, and we painted, and we made it really pretty, because that was what the buyers wanted. They wanted a big living room instead of 2 rooms. So we looked at each other and we said, can we do this? Yeah, we can do this.
Of course we can.
So it cost us some really hard work and some long hours, and we didn't get much sleep that weekend, but we did it. And then there was a lot of other little things besides our regular jobs, and beside all the extra work that Malte took in his company. So we sacrificed a lot of time to have what we have now.
So by fixing things up and selling them for a little bit more is often a better way to do it, instead of just selling them as it is. If it needs just a little fixer up, you'll get more in the end.
And I think like that takes time. So again, you're sacrificing a little extra time to gain a lot. If you have a house and you don't want to sell it, or you have a flat and you don't want to sell it, you could think about getting a roommate. I know it might be very personal to live with someone that you maybe don't know, but again, it'll give you some money that is much needed. So again, you have to sacrifice your private space to gain some money to travel for. You can also do something crazy, and you can move out of your apartment and move into your car and live there and rent out your apartment. That'll give you some money very quickly, and you will sacrifice your apartment and by living in your car. But it's only for a while.
This is only for a period of time, because when you get enough money to go traveling, it's all behind you, and the sacrifice is also, doing things that you don't like for a while, and then you get this big present by doing things you love every day.
What we did was sell the house. We know that gained some money, but we also had all the stuff inside our house that we started selling. If you take a look around where you live now, you'll probably see a lot of stuff that you actually don't really need, and you can sell those. Actually, you kind of have to earn money to travel.
And believe me, when you take a look around your house or your apartment, you sure will find something that you have but you've never used or rarely use. So why not get rid of it?
If you're only gonna travel part of the year, or part-time, or few months, and then of course you don't have to sell all your things to live in a suitcase. But I bet you have a lot of things that you can sell anyway. Go do it. It is really, really, really liberating. We didn't plan on becoming minimalists, but we actually found out that little by little, that's what we are now. I sometimes tell people that everything I surround myself with these days, that is my favorite. It is my favorite cup. It is my favorite knife. It is my favorite shoes. It is my favorite clothes. Everything I pull out of my cabinet is my favorite. Either because I think it looks nice or it feels soft, and I never wear anything that is a bit off, or I don't like wearing this. I never use anything in my kitchen that is not my favorite. It's my favorite I use all the time, because we have gotten rid of everything that wasn't the favorite. Isn't that amazing? So be tough. Open up your cabinets and your closets and pull out everything that is not your favorite and sell that stuff, because it might be favorite to somebody else, but it's not favorite to you, and you earn money every time you sell a little piece of whatever it is, and this money, they go into the piggy bank, so you can have a great life within a few months or a year, or how long it takes for you to save up.
And at this moment, it's much easier for you to sort out the things that you love the most, because you have a plan of where you're going. So you either have a suitcase or you have a box where you can put the things you love and you really care about. And then you have it in the box, and everything that's not in the box you can get rid of. You have a traveling type, so you know how you're going to travel. Then also you have a little idea of how much can I have with me. And I'm sure you don't need 3 closets of clothes if you're going backpacking. So find the things you love the most, that you wear the most, and get rid of the rest. It sounds hard, but actually it's more like relief when you have less stuff in your house.
When I began to clean out the kitchen, just the kitchen. I found so many kitchen appliances that I thought, why on earth are they here in the back of the cabinet? It was all sorts of stupid electric gadgets or spoons I didn't use, and all sorts of things, because I might use them someday when the other ones are broken, or it never happened. They had been there for 19 years and I never pulled them out, so we sold them.
I remember something about a chocolate fountain. You had 3 of those. I haven't tried this chocolate fountain, but nevertheless, it's things you have that you don't really use. You just store them in a cupboard or under your bed, or I don't know where you keep all your stuff, but try to dig them out and you'll realize how much you have that you really don't need.
Go through your closet and see how many pieces of clothes you have that you don't use. Some of those in the back that someday I'm gonna use it. But are you ever gonna use it? No. But somebody else can use it, so you can sell it. And that's also shoes or purses or coats or all the other items you have that in your closet that you don't need.
Even if you're selling your home or just renting it out, you need to sell things like furniture, knickknacks, all these things you've collected. Today you can do it on the internet or even have a yard sale. It gives money.
To a piggy bank. You're serious? Go get yourself a piggy bank and throw every little dime that you earn into this piggy bank.
And before you know it, this little piggy will be a big fat pig.
It will. You'll be surprised, actually.
Then there are these huge things you can sell, like if you have a car. Some people have an extra car, some people just have a car, or a house or apartment.
Yeah, you can't sell your apartment if you have to go home to it again, of course. But you have to decide, is this a plan for me or isn't it a plan for me? What do I do here? Do I need to go back? Do I want to go back? Do I have to go back? That is what you have to decide.
Yeah, but all that is also in order, because you already decided your volume of traveling. So you know how long you're going to be away, or are you coming back at all?
You can also look at the valuables you have, those that can gain a lot of money. I don't know in the old days it was called a collection of baseball cards. I don't know what people are collecting now, but it can be that, or it can be a piece of jewelry that is actually worth a lot, but you don't really use it, and there's no history to it that you can't live without. You might have some valuables hanging around in your cupboards or in a shelf somewhere. Go sell them.
Or even a coin collection or a stamp collection. Anything goes, as long as it sells. It gives you money in the piggy bank.
The thing about sacrificing time leads us to the easiest way to earn money. I know Malte says it's the most boring way to earn money, but actually it's the easiest way to work more. Yeah, it might be boring, but it's the easiest way to get money. If you have a job now, you can go to your boss and you can say, do you have some extra hours for me? And you might work most of the day and most of the evening, but know that every extra hour that you work is right into the piggy bank, and it's gonna make you travel even more.
If you get a part-time job in the weekends, you'll see all that time you're making money. Before that, you were using the time to use money.
And a part-time job, it might be working at 7-Eleven or cleaning or something really, really out of your league. Maybe you do cleaning on a daily basis, so it's not because we think that cleaning is a bad job, but you might be an accountant and then you have to work in 7-Eleven or clean in the weekends. But it doesn't matter because it's for a greater good.
I am a carpenter, and my company just needed to take in more work and spend more hours at work to make more money. And it was hard. But again, I had a goal, and the goal was to make the most money I could in the shortest period of time, because I wanted to go traveling fast.
I actually changed job because I could get a job that paid more than the one I had before. And that's also a possibility, to change job for a period of time. It might not have been my dream job. I learned something new, but it gave me more money to travel for. You can also see if some of your neighbors need some help in the garden, or help to do grocery shopping, or help to cut their hair, or help to repair their clothes. You can also stroll down the street and see if anyone has thrown out an old shelf that you can repair and sell for money. So that's also a kind of extra job.
Long hours working and making money gives you less time to spend money.
So to sum it up in 2 things: work more and spend less. And all of a sudden you'll have enough to go traveling, to live out your dream. Remember all the time, it's for a greater good. And you're gonna gain so much more in the end. And after maybe 2 months, you'll see it was all worth it.
You might even realize that many of the things you have gotten rid of is not things that you use in the daily basis. You only keep them for keeping. So after 4 months of canned food, you will love to get out. On canned food and biscuits, water. After 4 months, you're ready to get out traveling, believe me.
So you think it's like being in prison when you have to?
It really was. No, it's just hard.
Yeah, it is. But you have a goal.
Yeah.
And that goal is amazing. It's your dream you're living out here.
And it's all worth it.
Absolutely. Every second of hard work and not spending money and downsizing, it's all worth it. We promise you. We haven't regretted 1 second.
Every time you get a little down period, just think of what lays ahead. And it will give you more power to just keep going.
We were regular people too, like you. We're nothing special. We're not internet stars, and we didn't have a job that earned us millions. We're just regular people, and we could do it, so you can do it too. Remember that no matter how you choose to raise money to finance your new life, there's a pot of gold waiting for you at the end. Or rather, a pot filled with adventure and freedom.